What's up, homies? I actually just finished my workout that you're about to see and we're going to do together, but I want to start each one of these videos with some data, specifically what I weigh in and what my body fat percentage is, because as I try to bulk, as I try to gain muscle mass, that is the most important data, right? What gets measured gets managed, so that's what we're measuring. So this morning I weighed in at 204.6. I've been weighing in anywhere between 203 and 206 in the morning. That's before I eat or drink anything, after any initial bowel movements. And then the body fat percentage on the scale was 15%. It usually reads a little bit high, but it does give me anywhere from like 12.6 to 15.5. So, you know, for right now, I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. We're just going to watch as that goes. We're going to, whatever it's off by, it's probably off by the same amount. So we'll just use that as like a set point. So again, 204.6 is my weight. 15% was the body fat percentage. And 6 months from now, see if we can't add 20 pounds of muscle, or 20 pounds of weight, probably 10 pounds of muscle. All right, so I'm going to cut over. I started my day at Starbucks, so we're going to have a quick chat over there, and then you and I are going to go work out together. What is up, homies? Day 2 of the winter bulk. I'm going to be training chest and shoulders later, so excited about that. It's probably right now my favorite thing to train, being chest. I've got some kind of cool training techniques that we'll talk through later, but right now I'm sitting at a Starbucks. I just went in and worked for maybe 4 hours or so, and I'm actually gonna start driving home while you and I chat for a little bit before I jump over and cut over the workout that I'm gonna do here in, I'd say, probably an hour. So I literally just looked at my wrist like I had a watch on, like, oh yeah, like in an hour. Okay, sick, Trevor. But what I was gonna share with you is I realized when I uploaded day 1 was that I didn't really give you any context, right? Like what am I working on? What is the purpose of my bulk? Why am I training in my garage? So on my, oops, I had the car in reverse. That would have been bad. On my like 20-minute ride home or so, I'm gonna give you the 10-minute version because I've got some things I gotta pop in and grab. I gotta grab a Christmas card. I'm gonna stop into the dollar store. So anyways, first and foremost, why am I bulking? Well, I want to carry more muscle mass, and there's 2 reasons I want to do that. The first one is just really vain. I just want to look better. I want to look better. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If that's why you work out, awesome, go you. But I like how I look better or more when I'm carrying more muscle mass. So that's first and foremost. And I apologize if I'm a little scattered. I'm taking like a new way out of here because I have to like go like one way and U-turn and all that. And yeah, I'm trying to figure this out. This was so much smarter. I'm glad I did this. The second reason is more of a health-oriented reason. You know, in 2024, so next year, I turn 30, and there's probably some people that are watching this that are gonna say, "Holy shit, that guy is old," and then there's gonna be some people that are watching this that say, "Wow, that, you know, you've got a lot of life left. You're pretty young," and that's just, I guess, the beauty and the power of perspective. But oops, gotta make sure I go the right way. There we go. Oh, this is a terrible angle. I need to get like a different stand here. Oof, this is bad. And I want to do a story time too about my beard and how I've got alopecia in here, but that's not today. Anyways, you know, as you get into 30, really 30 biologically is when it becomes slightly harder to gain muscle mass, and then each decade it gets a little bit harder. By 50 or 60, you're not likely to gain much muscle mass. You're really just playing a retention game. Like, how much of it can you hold back from losing? So while I'm still young, I want to gain a good amount of muscle mass. And the reason for that is as you get older, there's such a direct correlation between how much muscle mass you have and your longevity and how you feel. Because inevitably when you reach 60, 70, 80, you do kind of start withering a little bit. And that muscle is going to hang on a little bit longer. I think a lot of this was sparked because my grandma on my mom's side just turned 91. And she's still in pretty good shape. She's mentally sharp as all hell. But she's hurting. She's in some pain. But what has kept her going is the fact that she does have some good muscle mass from consistently working out and being so active. So that's just kind of inspired me to do this. But anyways, over the next 6 months, that is how long I'm committed to bulking. My intention is to gain 20 pounds. Now, realistically, if you gain 20 pounds, first of all, you cannot gain 20 pounds of muscle in 6 months unless you're taking steroids. I'm not going to take steroids. I don't personally have anything against it or anyone that does it. But I probably don't have strong enough mental health to even risk the mental health side effects of steroids, because anytime you're playing around with your hormones like that, you're going to have some mental health issues, and I already have to do enough work to stay on top of my mental health. I don't want to add that factor in. So we're not messing around with that. But when I gain 20 pounds, mathematically, I'd be thrilled if half of that was muscle. Realistically, if I gain 20 pounds, I'm probably looking at gaining anywhere between 7 and 10 pounds of muscle. So if I can gain 10 pounds of muscle, I'd be over the moon. Because really, I mean, even just gaining half a pound to a pound per month is a lot. So that's the focus for the next 6 months. So that would take me, into midsummer. I think at some point you and I will probably need to have a conversation around the mental gain or the mental game of purposely gaining weight, especially as you get into the summer months where you're potentially in situations where you're taking your shirt off. It's not easy. I mean, gaining weight is tough, and especially in like this age of social media. 20 years ago, you'd see bodybuilders that would just always be bulking, and that's why they'd have no issues getting big. Now, I have a hard time with clients where, so a lot of people would come to me and they'd say, Trevor, should I lose fat first or should I gain muscle first? And the funny thing is, for most people, unless they're coming to me with a lot of muscle mass, the answer really is, well, you should probably bulk up first. Because if you just trim down without much muscle mass, this is subjective, it's not going to look great, but objectively, it's not going to work. It's so much easier to lose fat when you have muscle mass. That said, a lot of people struggle in this social media era with gaining muscle mass. And with gaining weight specifically. I don't think anybody has a hard time getting muscle mass. I think everybody would be happy with that. But gaining weight is something that's hard for many to do. So we'll have to have a conversation about that at some point. So hopefully that's good context for what I'm working on. I know I didn't probably share a ton. If you have any specific questions, comment those. I will absolutely answer them. And if this is something that you are enjoying, that you want to see more of, or if you're just someone who has been in my corner and supports me, I'd really appreciate if you followed this channel, if you liked this video as well. I'd be very grateful for both of those. And if not, that's cool too. I still love you. But I will see you in the garage for the workout. That's what I was going to mention. So hang on. Why am I training in the garage? 2 reasons. First, I live in a new development community, and they're building this brand new state-of-the-art gym right outside of it, and I'm kind of holding out for that to be done. Now, it was supposed to be done in the beginning of 2023. They just broke ground on it, so it might not even be done in 2024. Second, I've got a okay build out in my garage. You've probably seen that if you watched the first video. I have everything somebody would need. Now, could I go get a gym membership? I've got a Planet Fitness that's 10-15 minutes away. I've got a Crunch that's 10 to 15 minutes away. I mean, I have plenty of options. I could, but I lose 30 minutes out of my day just between driving there and driving back. And I don't love that. I'm at a point where right now I'm really optimizing for efficiency and trying to, just make the most out of my day, and driving for 30 minutes doesn't really do that. So that's kind of the first part. But I think that the thing that I'm most interested in right now is there's just such a stigma where like people think to gain muscle mass, they've got to have the best equipment, they've got to have access to the best plan, they got to have access to the only organic foods, all this stuff. I want to show you guys that it is possible to gain muscle mass and to have success without the best of everything. Right? I'm not eating the greatest foods ever, right? I don't have like an in-home chef, at least not right now. I don't have a gym membership. I mean, I'm training at home with some very bare bones equipment, albeit nice equipment. I have a barbell. I've got 2 dumbbells that only a set of 15s and 25s, so I can't do anything crazy with it other than some accessories. But I've got that barbell. I've got that really simple generic squat rack setup that I got for I think $125 on Amazon, and I absolutely love it. I do have some bands. I've got bumper plates that go up to, for that bar, they go up to probably 400 pounds. And I've got a bench and a mat. That's it though. And I can do pretty much every compound movement. I can do plenty of accessories. I can get creative. I guess my point of saying this is I am going to gain 20 pounds of muscle, and I'm going to do it at home. And I hope that's helpful to somebody, because I know there's people out there, I've had clients that feel this way, where you carry this limiting belief where it's like, well, you know, I don't have access to this really nice gym, or maybe I can't afford it, or maybe it's not near my house because I don't live near one, and well, because of that I can't be successful. And that's just simply not true. I mean, it's like a lot of things in life. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. So I don't just think I can, I know I can. I'm going to gain this muscle mass with not ideal circumstances. And part of that is because that's what I'm choosing to do, and part of that's because I just want to prove it. Not only to you guys and to somebody who might need that proof to validate it for themselves, but I'm going to prove it for myself. So that's what I wanted to share today. So I will see you in just a minute, or I guess for me, probably like 30 minutes. I'm going to eat something really quick, but for you, 2 seconds. I'll see you in the garage. We'll go hit chest and shoulders. Let's get you outside. Okay. Yep. Come on. Come on, silly. Come on. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's get this sucker set up. I got this teeter for my wife and I because she's got some back problems and I'm just tall, so so it's good for us, but I don't love moving it every day. That's all right though. Oopsies. Well, that just cracked my phone, so that's kind of a bummer, but that's all right. I'll have to figure out a different way to do this on windy days. All right, I'm gonna bend down so you can see me, but today, chest and shoulder, already mentioned that. Only 4 movements, so we are doing, I'll hold this here. I don't know if you're able to see it. If you can't, I'll just like overlay it over the screen, but we've got incline tempo chest press. So that's what I set up first. We'll do that. For the tempo, we're gonna be doing 4 count negatives, no other pauses or anything. Then we're gonna do the same thing for the shoulder press. So standing shoulder press, 4 count negatives. So we'll push it up, and on the way down, 1, 2, 3, 4. So a shit ton of time under tension today. Then we'll be doing dumbbell lateral raise, alternating iso holds 3 times. We'll just talk about it when we get there. Then we're just gonna finish with as many reps as possible for push-ups, 4 sets, as many reps as possible, 30-second rest between each one. And you might be thinking, but Trevor, how in the world are you gonna get huge in reps with only 4 exercises? Just watch. But seriously, so something I've learned over the years is that, I used to go in the gym and I would do like 15 different exercises, right? I'd start in the bench press, then I'd do some dumbbell bench presses, then I'd do some machine chest presses, then I'd do some chest flies, then I'd do some cable flies. And don't get me wrong, I mean, it worked to an extent, probably just because you can do a lot of the wrong things. If you're just consistent, it'll work. But it's not optimal, because in reality, there's no way I was pushing that first compound movement to exhaustion or pushing it to a point where I was doing a maximum amount of weight, because I had to have been saving something in the tank to be able to do the 100 sets of other crap I had scheduled out. So now what I'm doing is literally just compound movement. I'll probably spend half an hour on this freaking bench. Same thing with the shoulder press, right? I'll go kick some butt with that. And then I'm just gonna do a couple accessories to, like the lateral raises. I have a hard time doing a shoulder day without any lateral raises. They're just too important of a movement. And then the AMRAP push-ups, the idea there is, so what I'm doing with these chest presses, I'm getting stronger, especially in that upper part of the chest because it's incline. But then what'll happen is, so this will maximize the muscle breakdown. Then what I'll do is, with that AMRAP push-ups, with it being a relatively lighter weight, higher rep movement, I'm gonna get a rush of blood flow back into my chest, which is then just gonna help it grow. So you kind of hit both sides, where you hit that strength component with this, but then I'm also gonna hit a volume component with those push-ups. So I'll go ahead and warm up on this really quick, and then we can get back and talk. So I'll just do probably one set just real quick of just a couple reps, no tempo, and then I'll jump into tempo for the first set. So this first set you're gonna see not a warm up. I'm sorry, this first set you're gonna see is not a working set, it's a warm up. And I like to, so I find that first part of the, there's two ways I'll do this. I'll find, with a rogue bar like this, I'll find that first part that's, I saw somebody call this the barbell clit the other day. I thought that was hilarious. But I'll find that first part that's like a different texture. I'll hit my thumb there, then I'll go about a half thumb length in, and I'll set up my hands. Or what I'll do is I'll probably go like two fingers in from that first knurling, that first like smooth ring that you'll see. But anyways, quick warm-up set. I'll just do like a variable tempo. Like I might do one that's kind of slower just to feel it. I'll press it up. Might do another one where I pause at the bottom, but I really am just warming up. This is nothing about this is gonna be a working set. Here I'm just trying to get a good chest stretch. I'm not saying you need to do this or anything, but I'm just doing what I need to do to feel like that first set isn't gonna catch me off guard. Actually, I think my grip might have been just a little narrow there too, but cool, everything feels good. So we've got 5 by 6 to 8 reps on this. So 6 is my lower limit, meaning if I hit 6 or less, 6 I'm okay, but if I hit 5 or less, I need to go down in weight. If I hit 7, that's probably right where I want to be. If I hit 8 or more, that means I should add weight. So again, we're doing the 4 count negative, so each set, I mean, I'm probably gonna be holding this bar for a good 45 seconds or more each set. So let me get the timer started, and we'll be on our way. I don't know what it is, but I love wearing baggier clothes on upper body days. Something about it's just kind of nice. I think I love being warmer and like sweating it out. I know some people are like the exact opposite, but I think growing up when I first got into weightlifting, you know, it would be like summertime and I'd be in like some gym that didn't even have air conditioning, and I just loved it. But now I'm like always probably chasing a similar feeling. That's my hypothesis at least. So probably worth mentioning too, this bench is set to a 60-degree incline. In a perfect world, I'd love to see it probably more like, maybe like here at like a 60, but, or I mean like a 55, but I'm nitpicking a little bit. I just don't, this is the closest to what I want with this bench, and it's pretty good. Definitely don't want it any higher though, because that would really just be shoulders at that point. Kind of much higher than this, you're gonna take out your chest from the equation. All right, so quick setup, and then let's do this. Actually, let's look and see what we got last week, because the name of the game is not just showing up and doing this, right? That's not it. So last week for this exercise, same rep range. So I did 135 by 8. Then I jumped all the way up to 150 and did 2 sets of 7. Then I did 155 for 2 sets of 6. So you know what? I'm gonna start at 145. I'm gonna get at least a set of 7, if not a set of 8. And then what I'd like to do is go from 145 to 155. Because we're trying to create some progressive overloads. We're trying to do more than we did last week. And this last week for this, I think, was only 5 days ago. But you know, I've recovered well since then. So I gotta think my chest is a little bit stronger. And I'm still kind of riding the tail of those, you know, quote unquote beginner gains, because it took a long time off training. At some point I'll start hitting plateaus, but I mean, I've been able to add pretty significant weight. I mean, even just a month ago I was doing probably 125 for my top set, and today I'd like to do 155, 160 for my top set with this tempo. So, and this is, I mean, keep in mind too, I could probably flat barbell bench right now, probably 240, 245. So my incline's lagging just a little bit. It's never gonna be as much as my flat bench, but you know, in my life I've benched as much as probably 295, 300. So I don't want to say probably, I've definitely done that. So anyways, let's do this. Let's get back to that, huh? We said we wanted to go a little bit wider. Let's do it. Just protect my back on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not gonna count them all out loud though. 2, 3. Yeah, I feel good. 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh man. Yeah, I like that. Man, that's definitely a good working set right there. Got 8 of those. I'm gonna be able to increase weight, but it was tough enough where, I mean, I'm really comfortable counting that as a working set. You know, if I would have done 8 of that and I felt like I had 2, 3, 4, 5 more in the tank, then no way that's a working set, but I could have probably gotten like 1 more, if that. And I'd rather stay true to the rep range and just go up and wait next one. So now that was 145. I'm gonna look again at last week. So I worked up to 160, I think. No, I did 155. So, so we're gonna do 155, and then see if we can't hit 155 for the remainder of the sets. And if I can sneak out one at 160, that'd be great. But we'll see how we feel. So let's swap this 5 for 10. My neighbors didn't want to weigh back. I should have just told you guys they did, but they didn't, and now you know. For rest time, I'm looking at least 2 to 3 minutes. Here's the thing with these bulking workouts, guys. The first video, I think I didn't do like any editing on that video because I wanted you to see. I was waiting a long time between some of those sets. With these compound movements, I'm gonna let myself rest as much as I feel like I need. Now, there's gonna be times where I program workouts where to create more tension and more just an exhaustion, I'm gonna adhere to a shorter rest time. But right now, I'm strictly focusing on getting stronger, letting myself recover, and then hitting it again. So, different training modalities for different days. And something to note too, you shouldn't be bouncing around from like training like this to training like something else, then back to this. Follow one plan for 4 to 6 to 8 weeks, and then readjust. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they'll follow one plan, and then the next time they come to the gym, they follow another plan, another plan, and that was popularized for a long time by P90X, was kind of the first to say like, oh, muscle confusion. And yeah, that's great if you want to come in and lose some weight and just get your butt kicked. But if you want to gain muscle mass, you need to create progressive overload. You need to do something and stick with that something for a long enough period of time to get stronger with it. And then once you feel like you plateau, then start making some changes and stick to that for a while again. At least 4 weeks, up to, I would say, 8, even 12 weeks. All right, I got 155. Let's get at least 7 with the tempo. Here we go. Can you give me a lift off? 1, 2, 3. 1. Shit. Come on. Okay. That's about as close to failure I think as I'm gonna get without failing. Couple thoughts. So that's good. I like that set. I'd be surprised if I finished out here with 3 more sets, but that was really good. I'll take that all day long. When you're grabbing the bar on any barbell bench press, incline or flat, think of this bar like you're holding a stick. And when you've got that stick, think back to when you were a kid, you pick up a stick and you would try to pull your hands down and snap it. Do the same thing with this bar. Think about pulling it apart like you want to snap it, because that's going to engage your chest even more, right? So you're pulling apart, both down and up, and it's going to engage the absolute hell out of your chest. As opposed to some people will kind of cave in, they'll roll their wrists back. You want to have a flat, neutral wrist, not forward, not back. I mean, this is just tough on your wrist, and it's serious risk of dropping and hurting yourself. Which is why, truthfully, especially with a rolling bar like this, there's probably some risk involved, but whatever. Don't do as I say, not as I do, right? But then you're pulling apart, like you're trying to snap the barbell, and it's gonna engage your chest both ways. It's a good little nugget right there. What do we get? We got this for 7. See, now I'm thinking I'm gonna take a full 5-minute rest so I can get 7 again. But that's, I mean, I can feel that. Like I'd be surprised if I can even get 6 out of that now, truthfully. But even if that's the case, that's okay, because that's just a really good working set, and the goal was to do that. You know, I'm not trying to like work up to one single or work up to one really good working set. I'm trying to get a bunch of good working sets, and if one of my early working sets exhausts me a lot and I have a hard time cranking it out again, well, I'm gonna fight like hell to do it. I'm gonna try to get 7 again, but you know, if I don't, I don't. Because last week, I mean, I hit 155, I think, for just 2 sets of 6. Yeah, and it was my last 2 sets, but I hit it for 2 sets of 6. So now I just went right into 155 and I hit a set of 7. So even if I could hit one more set of 7, that really is better than last week. But I'd like to be able to get the volume too, and just, so even, let's say I can get one more set of 7 or a set of 6 from this. Right, that would more than match last week's. But then I knew I couldn't get another one. I could still bump down. I'm still gonna finish my last 2 sets regardless, even if I have to go down a weight. This morning, when I was working at Starbucks, I wrote a newsletter on 2 things, on our attention and our focus, and how that's the most valuable resource, and what you can do to get more of that back, because you know, our phones and specifically social media and news, they take so much of it. And then I talked a little bit just in general about how to have better like hygiene around social media so that it's helping you and not hurting you. But I think that's one of the more valuable things I've written in a while. So if you don't get the newsletter by the time this is recorded, by the time I post this, that newsletter will probably go out already, because I think I'm just going to send that out later today or early tomorrow. I will try to remember to put that link inside the bio, but if I don't, you can just go to any of my social media, you know, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and anywhere where you download some of the freebies, like the free 4-week ad plan I have, which is awesome, the workouts and meal plans, it'll automatically add you to that newsletter, so you'll get more free stuff. But that's a good one. I highly recommend that. And then then when you get the next newsletter, you can literally just hit read online, and it'll show you all the old ones I've written, and you can go find the one where I talk about attention, because that one is that's a good one. I mean, you'll get more time back in your day, you'll get more productivity, you'll feel better about yourself. You know, health is just like, it's all these little things it's these little levers that just open massive doors. So my mission is just to find as many of those little levers for you, because a lot of the effort is trying to find them. All right, I've got a full recovery, same weight. See if we can get 7 again. Keeping the tempo. I would rather come up a rep or 2 short than ditch the tempo. So let's fight like hell. Let's get 7. Here we go. Seven more. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised. I'll have to watch this when I upload it with you, and when we can watch it, I'll watch it with you. But my guess is I didn't keep the tempo on those first 2, because I think those are a little quick. I think probably what helped me too is I'm, slow down, I get up, I'm just not pausing at the top and going right back into it. I think that's helping. As long as I get that full extension, I'm good with that. Because the tempos I wrote up had nothing to do with a pause at the top or bottom. It's good. I'm really happy with that. I mean, to get an extra rep off last week's top set, that's great. So I'm at 7. I'm not going to add weight. My ego's sitting here saying like, oh, see if you can get 160. But with these 3 rep ranges, right? So when I've got a 6 to 8, if I'm not hitting 8, I'm not going to add weight. And if I'm 8 or above, I can add weight. If I'm 6 or below, I need to take weight off. And if I'm at my working set, or I'm right at the middle of that range, that's perfect. So I'm gonna stay there. You know, next week, I'm sure I'll try to hit 160, depending on how these next two sets go. But also just giving myself a full rest there was huge, because that's the only way I was gonna be able to do that. If I jumped right back into another set after that first one at 155, if I would have done that 60 seconds later, I would have gotten like 4 reps, if that. So that was good. I'll take this sweatshirt off. Probably put it back on right after my set. I want to stay warm. It's a little chilly out today, but take it off for my next set. Oh man, I'm flat. I have not eaten much yet today. Tempted to put it right back on. Watch, I take that off, and then next set, I'll come up a couple reps short. All right, it's at 7. Come on. Come on, baby, lightweight. Lightweight, baby. Come on. I think today we're going to do a video of how to fail out of this, because that was close. And it doesn't scare me. I've done it. I wouldn't panic, but I'd hate for you to be in that situation. Because first and foremost, if you're in a place where it's safe to, just don't clip it off with the weights. Right? Just don't be scared. It's gonna whip you. It's gonna whip you a little bit, but not that much. It's obviously gonna be proportional how strong you are, because you loaded the weight. You know, you're not gonna have 400 pounds in there if you can only bench 100 pounds. Now I can't do that because I've got drywall on this side. So if I throw a weight into that, it's gonna go right through it. So I do have it clipped, which is not the safest, but I know how to get out of it if I get stuck. Because what I would do is I just bring that bar down. Why don't we just do it really quick? No, let me do it after my last set, because then I don't have to get it back up. But you're gonna bring that bar down, right? And you let it sit. You just roll it down. Sit up. Gotta undo my legs so I'm not stuck behind here. You can roll it to the end of your knees, stand up, set it down. Just be mindful of your back when you're doing that. But it's not as intimidating as it looks, because that one I was very close to failing. And I knew after that 6th rep that I did not have much left in the tank there. But that was 7. So, shit, that's 4. Oh, we should have 2 more. No, we have 1 more. Man, if I get 7 for this last one, I'm gonna be freaking jacked. I'm gonna be super excited about that. Even if I don't, though, I mean, last week our top 2 sets were 155 at 6. Now my top 3 right now, 155 at 7, and I might get another one. So, I'll put this back on. That's freaking huge. That's awesome. I mean, that's just a testament to showing up consistently, eating well, but that's good. I love that. And no, too, I mean, I'm nowhere near as strong as I've ever been, but I'm just so excited about making progress. There's something so fun about that. It's cool. But yeah, remind me so we can do the failure video, because that'd be good for you to have. I'd say it's probably easier to fail on an incline bench, because once it's here, you can kind of roll it down because you're already leaning up. But I would also argue it's probably more dangerous. I think flat bench, you know, you just don't panic. You just roll the bar down. But there's not like, with it rolling down here, I mean, it could like probably crush you to a couple different points. So whatever, we'll practice it. I mean, I'll practice it exhausted too, so you can see it. So I'll rack, write it down, and I'll just come right back and fail for you really quick. I gotta get it down anyways. Found a gutsy in the fridge. I'm having this. It's not mine, it's my wife's, but that's okay. This is our little secret. Okay, nobody tell Cassie that I stole this. I'm gonna log this really quick though, because I am tracking my food. I'm not tracking calories, but I'm tracking how much protein. I'm tracking everything I eat and then how much protein's in it. So, if right now I can, it's already 1:30. I'm not anywhere near where I need to be. I've only got 68 grams of protein for the day. I need 200, but I'm gonna load up after this. So we'll write down gutsy, and we'll put in parentheses 0. And it is 137. And I'm not using a fancy app to track. I'm not doing anything wild. I'm literally just, I've got Telegram open, and I did a chat with myself, my food log, and I just put the food, the time, grams of protein. I keep it running total, and then I start over it the next day, right? Because what gets measured gets managed. If you want to change something, just collect more data. That's going to help if you know what data you're trying to hit, right? Like I know I'm trying to get 200 grams of protein, but even just in tracking, if I didn't have a target that I was going to hit, like by mindfully tracking that each day, I would start to realize, like, even if my goal wasn't 200, I would say, hey, I'm at 68 grams of protein. I can tell it's too low. I just need to eat more protein right now. But then once you have a target, it fine tunes it even more, and you're able to really lock in, because anything you want to accomplish, but especially in fitness, but in health and wealth and relationships and purpose and pretty much anything, if you just figure out what you want to do, collect the data, track it, and then hit your benchmarks daily, consistently over time, there's no way you won't be successful. The only time you're not successful is when you either don't have a plan or you don't stick to that plan. That's it. If you're not getting the results you want, it's a breakdown on one of those two things, or enough time hasn't gone by. That is it. Everything else is an excuse or a lie that we tell ourselves, right? Like I could sit here and say, oh, I don't have more muscle mass because I don't have great genetics. Well, I don't have more muscle mass because I haven't trained hard the last 2 years. I took a couple of years off. That's just the truth, right? There's no shame in that, because the second you take ownership in that, the second you take ownership in your situation, then you have the power to change it. But when we don't take ownership in our situations, that means only others can change them, and nobody's going to come in and rescue you. It's not going to happen. So we take ownership, then we have the power to change it. All right, I wanted to wait till 30 minutes, so if I'm feeling jacked up, I'm ready to go. That little gutsy, I keep wanting to call it a glizzy. That little gutsy helps. It's so hard to do this without music. But I don't want to play in the background and then have YouTube take my video down. I'm just saying to myself, you're going to hit 7, you're going to hit 7. I should tell myself I'm going to hit 8. But I think then I'd start lacking on the tempos, because I don't know that's realistic right now, but I'm going to hit 7. Come on now. Come on now. I've had a great job so far. Come on. Finish this one strong. Give me 7. Come on. I'll have to watch back for the tempos on these, but that's great. Okay, I'll write that down, and then we'll practice the fail together, because this is obviously gonna be really heavy for me right now. So that's 5. I feel really good about that. Okay, let's practice this failure. Hopefully I'm not lying. I don't have to call for help, right? Okay. Holy shit, that feels heavy. Okay, down, down, down. Don't let it crush you, right? Just left it there. Okay, oh no, I'm freaking out, right? We're just gonna slowly slide this down, right? And then, so it's on my hips. Okay, I'm gonna get it to the edge of my knees. So now all I have to do, see now there's no pressure on it, right? It's just sitting on my legs. Now all I've got to do is just stand up. And then if this is a little heavy for you in a deadlift, be mindful, right? At this point, if you're at a place where you can drop it, you can probably just drop it. But I'm just gonna do reverse deadlift. Set it down. And that's how you would fail incline bench with a bar. All right, let's go. Now for these shoulder presses, I'm gonna do these outside. Oh, I kind of lose the benefit of having the bar actually, because I was gonna rack it on there, but I'm gonna do these outside, and I'm not gonna rack it. I like, the last couple of weeks, I've actually just been picking up the ground and power cleaning it up. Not with like any crazy power cleaning form or anything, but just, and then pressing from there. I don't even have a reason, I just like doing it right now. But if you're following along, if you're doing this workout on your own, you can just set your bar up on a rack. And I was gonna show real quick, I know I've already seen it now in a couple videos, but you know, this rack I got on Amazon. I'm not like an affiliate link guy or anything, but maybe I'll find the link and throw it in the description. But this rack is, these things are awesome. So they're obviously standalone, they're not connected. And I got this because, you know, for a while I was gonna mount like a squat rack in here, but this is a 1-car garage and I wanted to, you know, put our car in here. And even the really expensive, you know, $1,200-$1,500 racks that like fold in, well, when they fold in, they're still like, they take up like a foot of space, and we don't really have a foot of space. Like we didn't even keep our garbage cans in here because there's just not that much space. And I guess in theory I could have mounted it here, but we already had this rack, and you know, I'd be standing up and hitting my head, and then I couldn't do anything but do like partial squats. It made no sense. So I found these standalone racks, and I was so skeptical at first, but they're like oddly really stable. I think it's just because of just how they're designed. Now, the only thing I'd be mindful of is putting them together. It took me like freaking like half a day, and it's probably just because they're so darn sturdy. But you know, that was inefficient. But other than that, they're pretty awesome. So, all right. So we're good with that. Now, I'm gonna pull up my notes from my last workout and see where to start with shoulder press. So we did 95 by 8, 100 by 8, 105 by 8, 105 by 6. And this is all with the negatives, right? Because I could probably shoulder press probably 145 right now. At 135, I don't know about 145. But anyways, that's not the point. So what that tells me is I'm gonna start at probably 100. I'll do a warm-up set with 95, see how I feel. If I could, I'm gonna try to start at 105 actually. We're feeling ambitious today. But I'll put 95 in the bar. So that'd be, the bar is 40. The bar is 45. And almost every bar in the gym is, unless you've got like a half bar, and those are kind of obvious. If that's the case, then that's almost always gonna be 25 pounds. So this is 45. To get to 95, that means I need to add 50 pounds. So divide 50 by 2, that's 25. So I need to put a 25 on each side. All right, that's the math you're doing. And you know, you go to the gym long enough, and what happens is you really don't even have to do math anymore. You know, you just kind of know that, you know, 45 each side, it's 135. 2 45s on each side is 225. 3 45s on each side is 95. You know, two 45s and a 25 is 275. So if you're not there yet, that'll come. If you are there, then you know how much fun it is to not really have to do the math and just kind of know. Another fun tip is, I don't know if you can even see this, but you rack one side, then all you have to do is just pick the bar up like this. Of course, that was kind of unnecessary with how I'm doing this, but just a fun little hack. Okay, I've been doing these outside, but I think I'm just gonna do these right here. I just can't hit the garage door units, or obviously the rack behind me, but I've got plenty of room. So, all right, this is just a warm-up set, no tempo. I'm gonna do a very lazy cleanup, but I don't want to have that form that's so bad I can hurt myself. But this is not gonna be some pretty clean or anything. More like a muscle clean, right? So how it's gonna be is I'll press it up like that, and then I'll do the negatives down, and then press it up. Man, 105 would be ambitious. But we're gonna do it. Why not, right? Pushing our head through at the top. Getting as tight to our face as we can. Push up. And then through. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do 105. I think a little ambitious, considering we had one set of 8 of this and then a set of 6 of it last week, and the rest was all lower than this. And my shoulders are going to fatigue so much quicker than my chest for 2 reasons. One, I just used them on that bench press, so this isn't, you know, obviously I'm not optimizing for my shoulder press today. But then 2, my shoulders just are going to go so much quicker than my chest anyways. Your chest is a bigger muscle group. So we'll do this for a warm up. And that's why I'm doing 5 sets of the incline and then 4 sets of the shoulder presses, because I use my shoulders so much in that incline. And even on a flat bench, you're going to use them some. Whereas in the shoulder press, I'm not using my chest at all. We'll do, so this is 105. I think, I didn't write this down, but I actually think too, the 105 where I hit 8 last week, the tempo wasn't very good. So I'll feel it right away. If this is like, you know, if I'm like 4 reps in and I'm like, holy crap, I can't do anymore, then I might just go back down to 95. Because I don't think I nailed the tempo. All right. Give me 8 of these. And by 8, I mean at least 6. Oh man. There we go. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Could sit a 7 there. Of course, I could always watch this and realize my tempo was shit, but for what I'm trying to accomplish, that felt really good. So, I guess the tape don't lie, but we'll see. So that was 1 set, 3 more. I'm just gonna take a good rest so I can do it again. Something worth, you know, noticing, at least for me, because it's so much different than how I used to train. Is I'm 45 minutes in on my second exercise. I'm not even done my second exercise. Like these 2 exercises are gonna take me a whole hour, and the last 2 are gonna take me, you know, 5-10 minutes. Cause I'm just gonna fly through them. They're just gonna exhaust me real quick. But I'm getting more from this style of exercise right now as a bulk than I ever have trying to do other things to gain muscle mass. Like just trying to do a ton of volume, because this is so much more systematic. So it's just a good reminder for me, maybe for you. So I would say though, for someone who's a beginner, it's, you know, it's interesting because like if I would have done this before having 15 years of experience, like I could very well see someone coming in doing 2 exercises and then leaving the gym and getting nothing out of it. Like the reason this is going to be so beneficial for me is because I really know how to push these movements and just, you know, give everything I have on these 2. If that's a skill you don't have yet, that's okay. The volume game is actually probably more beneficial. That'd probably be like a good topic for me to just break down in a separate video though. You know, like actually organize some notes and then go through it. You and I can go through it together because I feel like I'm not explaining that well. Okay, let's get this set. There we go. That one actually felt better than my first one. Shoulders are sneaky like that. Like it's almost like you kind of like get better into it. And then I know for me, when I hit a plateau, my shoulders are just done. But that one felt better than the first one. Maybe I will even go up, who knows? I thought I was gonna hit 8 reps there on the way down. I didn't do a push back up, but I could tell it wasn't gonna go back up. That's the only reason I didn't. I would have if I thought there was even a chance. I'd rather fail on it and try, but I knew there was almost no point. Especially when I want to get two more good sets in. Not that I'm saving anything in the tank, but it wasn't gonna help. Maybe that last set, if I feel that same way, I'll just try it so you can see, but it wasn't moving. You know, it's almost like therapeutic hanging out with you while we work out. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I've appreciated this. This is nice. I think lately I've enjoyed working out. I think, you know, after taking a couple years off and then now being back to it for, I'd say probably a month and a half, 2 months. That first month, like I dreaded it. Like it was hard to get back into it, but I just kept showing up because I knew it'd get better. And then maybe the last couple of weeks, I definitely look forward to it more. And then I don't know if I could sense maybe that enjoyment was like kind of coming and going, but I look forward to hanging out, you know, with you during these workouts, and that's been really nice. So thank you. All right, let's get a good set. Yeah. Enough of that fluff. Let's have a good. What do you think? 7? What's your guess? I think I got 7. Got ingrown hair on my calf. Bet you didn't guess that. Let's see. All right. Here we go. 3, 2. All right, I got the lockout. that was literally as slow as I get that last one. There's a couple where I think on film it's gonna look like I was popping to get it, and maybe I did, but I don't think I did. But I guess we'll see. So that's 3. I got one more set. I would be shocked if I got 7, but we'll give it a good rest and we'll see. I'm gonna check though, just so I can compare notes from last week. So I did 95 for 8, 108, 105 for 8 and 6. So we just jumped the first 2. We went straight into 105, 7, 7, 7. So I mean, we've already beat last week's, but didn't technically, you know, we hit 1 for 8 last week, but I'd rather get, and I'm almost positive that one didn't have a good tempo. I think that's why the next one had 6. because I'm pretty sure I was facing this way. I flipped around to watch the clock, and I counted in my head the same way, and I saw that it only been like 2 seconds in the clock, and I was like, oh crap. Which is, to be fair, probably what I'm doing right now, but. I've kept my wrists in a pretty good neutral spot, because I can always tell if I'm not, because they start to hurt. Like if I was pressing with them, bent like that. So I think I've done a good job of keeping pretty neutral. I'm also, so if you were to see this from the side, I'm not like straight out to the side while I'm pressing, you'll notice, but I've got my elbows forward just a little bit, and that's gonna activate my front delts. So I'm not just using that side delt to press. You'll want to do that with just all of your presses. It's also just going to put your shoulder in a more neutral position to keep you safe. Because if you're all the way out here, you're risking injury for sure, in my opinion. I'm trying to think like if you were all the way neutral, the extreme of that, I don't think you'd be at as much risk as you'd be all the way out here. So, all right, what's your guess? You think I got 7 more? I'd be lying if I said that last time though. So I'm thinking I gotta get 6. So let's get 6, and then let's spike the cup for 7, huh? That's probably the right attitude. All right. Give me 6 plus 2, huh? 6 plus 2. We just gotta get to 6. Just gotta get to 6. If I get to 5, we're gonna get to 6. If I get to 4, we're gonna get to 5. Get to 3, we're gonna get to 4. So, come on now. Where's that? Let's get my work right. Here we go. Just shut up and lift. It's not going up. Yeah. All right, I got 5. I think what happened was that last one, I really got to that exhaustion point. Okay, I'm good with that. I'll clean that up later. I'm gonna jump right into those lateral raises, because we just got lateral raises, those AMRAP push-ups, and we're done. We can go eat some food. I'm gonna make a shake and have some food. I don't know if you guys, do you want to see the shake? I can do that with you really quick. But so this is a little heavy for this, but I've only got 25 and 15s. So you'll see I'll probably struggle a little bit, but I'm just gonna get out and hold it, and then just do 1, 2, 3, and this one becomes the hold. I'll do 1, 2, 3. So if my form gets like atrocious, I'll grab those 10-pound little plates and we'll do it with those. So. Two. I guess this would actually be 2. Oh, this will be 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 6. 1, 2, 7, 1, 2, 8. 1, 2, 8. Okay. And if I wasn't doing the AMRAP push-ups, one of my favorite chest accessories that you can do with a cable machine in the gym, but I would do probably with a band since I'm here, and I've got that cable set up, is I'd loop this band around something. Right, so I'll just show it here as an example. I would stand, would this be parallel? My chest would be parallel with it. I'm gonna say perpendicular. And I would just do a side chest press. I don't want to pull that. I don't think that's going to be good for that. But I would do a side chest press. I've never had something that's so good for that medial chest separation right there. I love those side chest presses. And the best part too is, you know, you can take it and do like a downward angle, and it's almost like a dip, but a single arm, and like you can just really isolate that chest. Now granted, you just do dips too, but I love side chest presses. You know, when I start integrating some accessories back in, that'll probably be one of the first ones I do. I love it. I'm gonna give myself a second on those. I'm not doing super long rests for this or the push-ups, but I'll take a second, I'll start cleaning up. For this 3-day split, I've been doing legs and core. Now, chest and shoulders, and then the third day is back and arms. It's probably my all-time favorite split. I've been doing back and arms in the community workout center. I don't know how comfortable I feel filming with other people in there, and there might be. It's literally like a room this size, or maybe twice the size of my garage. I could just do it, which probably should. I can go at an off time, which I'd rather just keep going at the times I feel my best. Or I can just do my workout in here. But they've got a lat pull down machine in there, which I like. The only like compound back movement I could do in here is bent over rows. And that's not, I don't love being that, I don't like holding that much weight from a bent over position. It's just not good for your lower back. I can set up the bench and do like a chest supported version, but it's not great. And then I could do body weight rows in here. So I mean, there's good options, but in there I could do lat pull downs. And then they've got a full rack of dumbbells all the way up to 50, so I can do a lot more stuff with my arms, my biceps, and my triceps. So I think I'll bring you in there with me. We'll see how it goes. Probably just tell somebody in there like, hey, I'm live streaming or something, and they'll just be like, cool, whatever. So even though this is not technically live, but it's kind of how I treat it. So 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. 4, 1, 2, 4, 2, 5. I can feel myself fading in those. I'll set these up for push-ups. Write these on here. So 15 times 8 and 8. I know that's already better than last week. I think I did 6s. So, and as okay as my form looks here, and by okay I mean not great, it's better than it was last week. These dumbbells are just too heavy for me on that movement. And if I were in a normal gym, I'd move down. But I'm just gonna make these work. The lateral raise isn't any problem. It's just holding it there that long is a lot. All right, last one. Then we got the push-ups. That's all I got for those. Okay. Let's kick my butt. I'm gonna move you so you can see these push-ups just a little bit better. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so as many reps as possible. 30-second rest, as many reps as possible. So I'm gonna tell you what I got last week, so I can try to beat it. I know last week I actually kind of kicked some butt, so you just come in near it, I'd be pretty happy. I've improved week over week. So 40, and then 18, 14, 13. So I mean, I'd love to beat 40 for that first one and then just eke out what's left. Obviously, with a 30-second rest, you know, that first set is going to just be a lot, and then then it's kind of downhill from there. But here goes nothing. Oh man, that's 26. Let's get 35, huh? That's 32. Yeah, we're getting 40. Three, 4, 36. 37, 38, 39, 40, 1, 2, 43. Okay. And I got to 20 after. 43. Alright. Got 20 seconds left. So now watch me barely get 10. You know? But that's the name of the game. That just means I worked hard in the first one. And I'm letting myself rest. As long as I don't put my knees down, then I'm done. Or if I fall. Okay. Six. 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Got 4 more? Come on. That's 20. I got till 10 after. Okay. That was brutal. This marker's out. So is this one. I love that. That's alright, I can see it. I don't know why that happened. Okay, took a couple extra seconds, my bad. Here we go. I think 6 till I got the first one, right? Speed 14? Feels like a fucking lot. Oh shit. Hang on. 10. We're counting. That's a fail, but I got back up. Go back to 11. We won't count that one. How about that? 11. Let's say 12. 13. 14. Holy shit. 15. Okay. That was about as ugly as it gets. 15. Marker's dying on us. We got 25 seconds to go. We're not dead yet, huh? Man, I took a couple extra seconds again. I'm sorry. I was thinking about something different. Not counting it. Ah, fuck. I think we got 8. Right? Okay, that's 13. So last week we did 40, 18, I think 14 and 12. This week we did 43, 20, 15, and 13. So yeah, so probably can't even read it from there, but there's the workout. Incline chest press, the shoulder raises, the lateral raise with the iso holds, and the finisher. I'm gonna go see if my wife, she was napping in there. And if she's napping, I'm not gonna make that shake. I'm gonna make it, but we're not gonna make it together. I'll just go sneak in there and make it. So let me check real quick. Okay, so she's napping. We're gonna do the shake next time. This was winter bulk number 2. See you in the next one.